Welcome to another RaceTrackerMX screencast. This screencast will be covering adding checklists and checklist items so that you can organize yourself a little bit better when you go to a race. So let's start the app. And then we'll go down to the lower right hand corner to the More tab where you have more options. And then from this More list we're going to check the third one down, Checklists. We'll click on that. And in here we see a list of checklist items, or actually a list of checklists. We can make multiple checklists, so I have one here that's bike and one that's gear. If I want to add another one, I just hit edit and then do create new checklist. But we've got a couple there already, so we'll just close that. And you'll see that bike has 0/8 and then gear has 3/6. So let's look at bike and see what the 0 and 8 are for. And what that amounts to is it tells you that you have 8 items and that 0 of those 8 items have been checked off. So what we're doing is we're saying none of this stuff has been accounted for. We don't know if we loaded it up and it's ready to go to the race with us. So as you go down through, you look at this checklist and you find these items and you find that your air filter is in the truck or in the van or your trailer or whatever, and you have oil filter and oil seals and chain lube. And as you check these off, you should notice that the need to pack items are going away and the already packed items are showing up with check marks next to them. So this is telling you that these things are included, you've checked these off, and that they will be with you when you go to the race. So as you continue to make these lists of items that you normally bring, and you can expand on this, you'll go back and you'll be able to see that now your bike has 5 of 8 items. And when you're getting ready to pull out and head to that race, you might want to go down and look at this checklist and say, okay, I got 5 of 8. Do I need the fork seals? Do I need the levers? Do I need the tire changes? Have I forgotten those, or are the items that I just don't need this weekend? And that may be the case for some of it. When you go down and look at this back at the checklist, you can see that I had bike and gear, and you could actually put camping supplies, you can put food, other items, other categories that you usually want to bring with you every time you go to a race. One of the things to look at too is that when you get back from a race, it may be the next weekend before you ride again or before you go to another race, and instead of having to go in here and start from scratch and selecting all of these and say that's not in the list, that's not packed anymore, what we have is an option where you go up to edit, and down at the bottom of the page it says clear check marks. And what that'll do for you is if you clear the check marks and then hit done, you'll notice that everything needs to be packed and nothing is in a field that is already checked off or accounted for. And you'll see that bike now has 0 items of 8 accounted for, and the gear has 3 of 6. So if we wanted to do it, edit, clear check marks, clear the list, select done, and everything in that. So both our bike and our gear checklists are now been zeroed out. So as you start to load and you start to pack up for that race, you can go along and go in, and then you can start checking off the items that you're sure are included and are going to be coming with you. And just before you leave, scan down through your checklist and look at any checklist items that aren't say either 8 for 8 or 6 for 6, and you go along and you'd see that you haven't accounted for these yet. And this is just a tool that you can use to help you be a little more organized on race day. There's nothing worse than showing up at a race and not having the tools and the equipment that you need because you forgot something that you took out during the week to work on your bike and you didn't get it back in the toolbox that you travel with and things like that. So it's just an option that we've added to the app to hopefully make your riding experience and your racing days a little bit more enjoyable. So that's it for this screencast, and on the next one we're going to talk about adding websites to the app.